everyone, how are you all doing today? I welcome you all to another lecture with Zenith Academy Online. I am Shravika Jamnik and I am going to be your teacher for today. Today we are going to learn a very simple chapter, rocks and minerals. So let's begin. Rocks. The outermost layer of earth is known as crust, and this crust contains rocks. This is the structure of Earth. We have learnt about this structure in our previous chapter Sun, Moon and Earth. So to know this better, please go back to that lesson and learn it. So the outermost layer we can see is the crust, and the crust has all the rocks that we know. Rocks are made of minerals. A very important point, rocks are made of minerals. So all the minerals make a rock. To understand this better, think of Maggi. Maggi has two components. And what are they? There is a taste maker, that is the masala, and then there is noodles. These two things combine together and form Maggi. So in this case, the taste maker and the noodles, they are the minerals, and rocks, that is these two minerals form Maggi. So Maggi is the rock. Remember it, it's a very important point. Based on minerals, rocks are divided into different types. So naturally there will be different minerals in different rocks, and based on this we will divide the rocks. The first rock we are going to learn about is our igneous rock. The hot and molten rocks present in core are known as magma. So let's see how igneous rocks are formed first. This is a magma chamber. These are very hot and these are hot and molten rocks present in our core. So what happens when there is a lot of pressure exerted around this magma chamber? The magma has no option but to ooze out, and for this it creates a vent and through it flows the lava. Molten magma that's flowing is called lava. We have learnt about the volcano in our chapter Natural Disasters. So to learn more about volcano and how this works, please go to that chapter. So here magma will come out in the form of lava, and when this lava will cool down, it will give rise to igneous rocks. The liquid that flows out from vent is known as lava. The lava will gradually cool down and form our rocks, that is igneous rocks. You can see the lava flowing. This red hot liquid is the lava, and when it is cooling down, it's forming rocks. So these black rocks that you see, they were initially lava and they cooled down and formed our igneous rocks. Around 95% of Earth's crust is made of igneous rocks. Now let's see the types of rocks. The types of igneous rocks. The first one is granite. It is the most common igneous rock that we know. We use it for construction. It's very strong. It's usually found on our kitchen countertops, and it's used because it cannot be melted. Nothing can melt granite. It's so strong and nothing will melt it. Therefore, granite is used a lot and it's most commonly found. It's also used for household constructions, and it's made of minerals feldspar, quartz and mica. The next rock, igneous rock, is pumice. Pumice is a volcanic rock that has rough texture. You can see from your rough texture, and it has a lot of air pockets in it, because of which it is the only rock that can float on water. Important characteristic of pumice, it is the only rock that can float on water. It is light in color. It can be this color, that is a very light gray, or it can be peach. Now its uses are, it can be used as a skin scrubber, or dentists sometimes use it for polishing teeth, and it's very lightweight, so it can be used for making lightweight concrete. Next igneous rock is basalt. Basalt, it is a dark color rock. Here it is still light, but basalt is actually much darker than this. Maybe it's the picture because of which it's looking lighter, but basalt is very dark. It is very fine grained, and it is formed as lava flows down the volcano. Obsidian is another form of igneous rock. Obsidian is strong rock that forms when lava cools down quickly. This type of rock, it does not have any crystals in it. It's usually black in color and it has a glassy texture. It is used for making cutting tools, that is, tools that are used to cut, and ornaments. So, obsidian. So, we have learnt about four igneous rocks: granite, pumice, basalt, and obsidian. Now, let's move on to next type of rocks: sedimentary rocks. These rocks are formed due to soil erosion. We have learnt about soil erosion in our chapter soil. So if you don't remember, I will explain it here, but to understand it better, go back to our lesson soil and understand it. This is erosion of soil. This is a river that's flowing, and along with the flow, it carries certain particles along with it. These particles are called sediments. When sediments are carried by soil erosion, they pile up and are squeezed together. So this is how sedimentary rock is formed. First, the water is flowing, some sediment is coming along with it, and it gets settled. It is settled here. Now more water is flowing, and along with more water, more sediment. So more sediment will settle on top of the already present sediment. Now more sediment and more deposition. This will create pressure on this lowermost layer, and therefore here sedimentary rocks will be formed. So due to heat and pressure from the layers present above, which pile up and get squeezed together, our sedimentary rocks are formed. Sedimentary rocks constitute to 5% of total rocks found on Earth. Now another observation I want you to make is, I said igneous rocks make up to 95% of rocks on Earth, and sedimentary rocks make up to 5% of total rocks found on Earth. This has already made 100% of rocks on Earth, but we still have one more rock remaining. Now we will see how that is made. But before that, let's see the types of sedimentary rocks. Oh, first, a classic example of sedimentary rocks. You can see the piles of sediment formed. The piles, they are squeezed together, and this literally forms layers of rocks. So that's why sedimentary rock is actually a layered kind of rock. Now let's see the types of sedimentary rocks. We have shale, sandstone, conglomerate, and limestone. Let's first learn about shale. It is made of solidified clay and mud. This has a lot of mud, and when the mud is squeezed together, it forms shale. It is available in this dark shade, or it's also present in gray and white colors. Its shale is it is usually actually found in black color, very dark color, and it's used for making tiles, bricks, and cement because it has a lot of clay content. Next is our sandstone. It is a very soft kind of rock, and it is again used for making cement. It's found in other colors such as red, pink. This is slightly a brown. There's also brown and yellow. It's used for construction. The Red Fort that we know, that's in Delhi, Red Fort is made of sandstone. Third type of sedimentary rock is a conglomerate. It is made of round pebbles. You can see here also the conglomerate has round pebbles inside it. It is grey or orange in color and it is used for construction. So most of the sedimentary rocks are used for construction. Now there is limestone remaining. Limestone is made of calcite and it's also present in animal shells. Here we can see that it's grey in color, so limestone is usually grey in color. And again, limestone is used for making cement, chalk, and limestone is also used for making gum or chewing gum. Now let's move on to the third type of rock, that is metamorphic rock. Now I hope you remember I said igneous rock makes 95% and sedimentary rock makes 5%. So 100% of rocks are sedimentary and igneous. Then how is metamorphic rock formed? Metamorphic rocks are rocks that have changed their form due to continuous exposure to heat and pressure. So essentially they are igneous and sedimentary rocks and they go through a change. Change is known as metamorphosis and this change leads to metamorphic rocks. Let's see the types of metamorphic rocks. There is marble. Marble, we know it's very useful. Our Taj Mahal was made with the help of a marble. There is slate. Slate comes from shale. As I said, metamorphic rocks comes from a sedimentary rock and we already learned that shale is a sedimentary rock. So slate comes from shale. There is gneiss. It's a high graded rock and it forms with very high temperatures. And there is quartzite. This is again heat and pressure will make quartzite and it will get formed from sandstone, which is a form of sedimentary rock. Now we have learnt about rocks. Let's move on to minerals. Minerals are chemical substances that naturally occur in nature. So minerals are metallic and non-metallic. Metallic minerals, they are used to attract certain metals and they are called as minerals or ores. So metals come from minerals and ores. Examples are aluminium comes from bauxite and iron comes from hematite. Now let's see. This is what bauxite looks like. Bauxite, and bauxite will give us aluminium. The aluminium foil that you see came from its ore bauxite. Another metal such as gold. This is a gold ore and gold will be extracted from this ore. So this is a metallic mineral. Gold also comes from gold ore. Non-metallic minerals, gypsum, feldspar and mica. There's also very precious stones such as diamond, emerald, topaz. They also come from non-metallic minerals. This is gypsum, this is feldspar, this is a precious stone diamond. Diamond initially looks like this. Now it will have to get very polished to look the way it does when we buy it. This is emerald. This is emerald in its natural state. Now it will also have to get polished and then it will be used to make jewelry. Now let's see the uses of rocks and minerals. It's very evident that rocks are used as a building material. We see it all the time. Rock is used as a building material. As a gemstone, our diamonds, our emeralds, our precious stones, they also come from rocks. It's used as coal. So coal is another form of rock and it's used as a fuel. As source of various metals such as iron. We saw that aluminium comes from bauxite, same way iron comes from hematite. Now let's see use of minerals. This is A fertilizer, minerals are used for making fertilizers which help in better growth of plant. It's also very helpful and it's also consumed as a part of our diet. Here we can see this is calcium, calcium present in milk, and it's a very important part of our diet. So I hope this chapter was clear. If you have any doubts, please feel free to ask in the comment section below. I will see you soon. Please like, share and subscribe if you like this video. Bye bye.